I think there are more politicians in favor of electric cars than against. There are still some that are against, and I think the reason for that varies depending on the person. But in some cases, they don't believe in climate change. They think oil will last forever. That was said by Elon Musk, and I think that's pretty powerful because if you think about it, our supply of oil, gasoline, it won't last forever. And, I'm a big fan of cars, vehicles. I love my car. It's a 1992 300ZX, and it just eats gas. It's loud, it's strong, has a big exhaust. But that's what I would like to talk about today is the reduction of gasoline-powered engines because not only is gas expensive and prices rise all the time, it's one of the biggest contributors to climate change and greenhouse gases in the world. And also, along with that, battery technology is improving, it's advancing. And along with battery technology improving and advancing, that will call for less maintenance on vehicles. So overall, less expenses in the future when battery technology is there for our vehicles. So the first reason being 300 million USA cars are driven on the road. And if you think about it, if you sit in a garage with just one car, that car can kill you from carbon monoxide poisoning. So if you think about the 300 million just in the USA driving alone, think of all the carbon monoxide, all the other greenhouse gases that are trapped in our air, that we breathe every day, that our kids breathe, that gets trapped in our lungs. And it's especially true here in the Central Valley where we live in a valley. So all this from San Jose, all that gets carried over here and just trapped. So you think of all the kids with asthma, all the people with asthma, and all the just bad air days we have. So the next reason I have is gas is very political. It causes a lot of controversy. So I think with the reduction of gasoline-powered engines, we won't have to rely on gasoline and oil as much. So a lot of our political controversies, wars, invading other countries, and so on, that'll be kind of put to the side because if we were to have more battery powered cars or hybrid cars, we wouldn't have to worry about relying on oil so much or other countries for oil producing, all these things digging into earth and just destroying the natural habitat to look for fossil fuels, crude oil, and all that. And the next reason being is gas is it can be very inefficient. So gasoline engines can be very inefficient. So cars have power ranges, horsepower, torque, and usually gas, especially newer vehicles, you don't have low end torque, so your car doesn't feel like it's really moving or it gives you that power you need until very high up. And at that point, when it's high up in the RPM range, it's producing a lot of gases, a lot of NOx, monoxide, and so on. So 41% of greenhouse gases come from just transportation vehicles alone. And if we were to reduce just even the cars in the USA to battery powered cars and stop the production or reduce the production of gasoline powered engines, that number would reduce drastically. And obviously we won't have as much need for oil. And if you think about it, so we are making advancements in battery technology. So once those battery advancements come, right now it's pretty expensive to have hybrid or battery powered cars. So as of right now, 2019, the maintenance for battery powered cars is pretty high. So say your batteries go out or something, it'll be expensive to replace it. But say 15, 20 years from now, when the technology is there, just like engines, it'll get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as it goes on. So right now, engines, a lot of moving parts, a lot of things to maintenance, oil changes, a bunch of stuff, timing belts, valve adjustments, all of that you have to worry about with gasoline powered engines. But once the battery technology is there, they will become much cheaper, much more easier to come by. So the maintenance overall would become less expensive. And I think one of the biggest reasons to reduce the production of gasoline powered engines is, if you think about, if you want to have a family, have kids, think about not just us, don't be selfish, and think about the generations later on, your friends, your families, your sons, daughters, cousins, even your grandparents. You don't want them to be in this bad air quality, breathing in all this just basically tar and oil and just, not good stuff that fills up your lungs. So with that, I hope I showed you the positives of reducing the gasoline production of the gasoline engine, and I hope we can make a change.